Hey everybody, I hope you're all having a good weekend, or had a good weekend. I wanted to quickly give you some tips about your week 4 diary entries. As you know, we're reading through your week 2 and week 3 assignments, and you'll get your folders, your scores, and your feedback returned in lecture on Thursday. But because you have to complete your week 4 before then, I thought I'd take the time to give you some sort of tips that I think would be useful after having read through your diary entry so far. Now, the vast majority of you did exactly what you needed to do to earn the standard 4 and 12 points on those entries. So excellent work, keep that up. But there were a good number of students in the class who failed to do what it took to earn those full standard 4 and 12 points and lost some points as a result. So I thought I'd give some tips that everybody could benefit from on your week 4 entry, as well as all the other entries for the semester. So the first tip, again, nothing new, but I want to underscore its importance, is to read the diary prompts carefully. As you saw in the week 3 prompt, we took the diary assignment and then translated it into a checklist that was at the end of the assignment. We are going to do that for every diary entry. So when you get your diary 2 back, you'll see that we took the diary 2 prompt and translated it into a checklist. You should do that for every diary entry. Read the prompt and ask yourself, what are the key requirements, the key elements that Dr. Becker is going to be looking for? There were so many people whose entries, they seemed to engage with them. The people who didn't get the full 4 points, say on week 2, they seemed to clearly engage with the entry assignment, but they mysteriously seemed to overlook a key requirement and therefore lost points on that assignment. So just make sure you know what each prompt asks you to do. Secondly, raise your bar. The second point that I said over and over, sort of one of the mantras of the semester, is raise your bar, by which I mean raise your bar for what you think it takes to fully satisfy these assignments. So there were lots of diary entries where the students sort of clearly tried to address all of the requirements, but they did them in such a cursory way that it didn't demonstrate in full engagement. And in reading them, it seemed in some ways as if some students would say, okay, what's the minimum I could do to get this assignment done? Perhaps they did it late on Friday night and rushed it. Well, the consequence of that was sort of not earning the full 4 points on your week 2 entry. So the tip I would give you would be to look at the diary entry assignment, which asks you to compare and contrast your guilty pleasure experience with the experience of 2 of your peers. So what I would encourage you to do is just really think back on your small group meeting. Think about the 2 peers who talked about their diary entry that you had the clearest memory of and the strongest reaction to. And then really think, what could you say about how their experience of their guilty media pleasure was similar or different to yours? And then when you go to write your entry, ask yourself, what could I do to demonstrate the depth of my engagement with my peers' topic? Do not ask yourself, what's the least I could do to finish this assignment? Because if you take that track, you may end up losing 2 or even 4 points, which can, in the long run, can have an impact on your final grade. As you know, again, we're not looking for a complex paper. 2 paragraphs for this week 4 entry is all you need. You don't need an intro or an inclusion. 1 paragraph in which you discuss your first peer and the second paragraph in which you discuss your second peer is all you need. Of course, you should go through and make sure there's not tons of typos and sort of grammar mistakes. But other than that, what we're really looking for is your engagement with the material. So the third point I'd make, as always, get your e-copy turned in properly and on time with the proper formatting, which means week 4 title on the top, turned in with .doc or .docx attached to your file name. Make sure it's turned in by 9:30 a.m. Good luck with the week 4 entry. I would love it if every single student in the class got the 4 points on this week's entry. So that's one of my goals, and that's why I want to make the video. I will see you on Tuesday, and have a good weekend.